Wonder about the lounge options in Hong Kong Airport? In this video, I'll show you 3 of the Priority Pass lounges, the food options, as well as what I ate on my first day in Beijing. The first lounge was the Plaza Premium Lounge near Gate 1. The fishball noodle soup is flavorful with bouncy fish balls, which made my jet lag really bearable. I give it a solid 7 out of 10. The second lounge was the Chase Sapphire Lounge near Gate 40. The Chase Lounge has a larger buffet selection, running from ready-to-eat Western salads, snacks, to a la carte Cantonese dishes. I ordered a steamed pork patty, which is the most unique thing on the menu and likely the best thing I ate in all 3 lounges. Aside from minced pork, it has shiitake mushrooms and crunchy water chestnuts. It's juicy, rich without overpowering, and perfectly seasoned. I give it 8 out of 10. I then try some shredded gluten, cucumber, and carrot salad, which is pretty common in northern China. This dish is best with a lot of chili oil and Chinese mustard. But in my zombie state, it's pretty refreshing. I give it 5 out of 10. I don't know about you, but I tend to have my soups after my solids. And in Hong Kong, you really can't go without some nourishing pork bone and kelp broth. Knowing that I'll be eating at another lounge, I ended the meal with some jello. And the chrysanthemum goji jello just intrigued me. It's not as floral or sweet as I hoped for. I give it 4 out of 10. Next on my final lounge is HKIA near Gate 23. This is actually 5:30 a.m. local time, a few hours after the Chase Lounge closed. Because it's rated Asia Pacific Lounge of the Year by Priority Pass, I had some high hopes. The modern layout and sleek decor is great. It's below the departure level, so the space is a bit more enclosed and quieter compared to the last 2. But the food variety is by no means better than the Chase Lounge. As you can see, there is standard breakfast cold cuts, eggs, congee, and some steamed dim sum dumplings. There's also no a la carte option, at least for breakfast. So as you can see, there are a lot of options, but nothing stands out. My breakfast was a mix of East meets West. I'm pretty surprised how I still have appetite, but long journeys can be really draining. So the shrimp dumpling or har gow I had was, so the shrimp really wasn't chewy or fresh. And then the pork shumai, it's really hard to get a concrete flavor profile other than the soy sauce dipping. And as on the inside, you can see there's some water chestnuts. And then the next one is shrimp shumai. So this one, taste-wise, pretty similar to the shrimp har gow. But the saving grace is the latte at the end. Because after 9 hours in Hong Kong and a short nap in one of the lounges, I flew another 2 hours to Beijing. For our first meal, my aunt took us to a local favorite restaurant named Sichuan. This restaurant is all about the rustic Northeastern style food, known for heavy pork dishes, a variety of fermented bean pastes, and dumplings. On this menu, you can see a variety of meats. There are roasted pork, pork in hot pot, grilled pork dishes, pork with batter and fried. So a lot of things might look familiar to you, but a lot of things might look strange. Of course, plenty of dumplings. So the interesting thing about dumplings in the north is that in contrast to the south, northern dumplings are mostly made of wheat flour instead of rice. And speaking of the heaviness, for appetizer, we started with pork intestine. It's just, it's rustic, so it's really heavy and hearty. Even with a salad, the tricolor salad with cucumber and carrots, it's doused with dark, heavy sesame sauce. And then we also have smoked chicken, which is a family favorite. I get started with a piece of intestine here, and the texture is quite a bit chewy, but also springy. It's not very heavy and oily because the fatty layer is removed. And next, I'm having a little bit of the potato starch noodles from the tricolor salad. So the great thing about potato noodles is that they're so bouncy and chewy, and you really have to chew them hard. The texture is very al dente, and they absorb sauces really, really well. The smoked chicken is just smoky. And then the next two heavyweight dishes on the table, this one is lamb. So what's happening in the Northeast is that they actually will batter the lamb chops and fry it. What you get is a really crunchy outside, and you wrap it in a lettuce leaf. You can put in as much bean paste as you want. The more bean paste, the more savory, the more heavy the flavor is. And what's great about the batter is that it really preserves the juiciness in the lamb, and you really get that texture contrast. Then, of course, we had dumplings. So these ones are pork and cabbage dumplings. Pretty good, thin skin and juicy fillings. And we got some heavy dishes here. This one is a chicken stew with woodier mushrooms and wild black mushrooms. So this dish really pairs the tenderness and the richness of chicken with the rustic flavors of the mushrooms. And what's also great about this dish is that you don't really need rice or noodle because it's got potato noodles, which really soaks up all the juices. And for dinner, I chose a Sichuan-style pickled pepper noodle shop. If you love Sichuan cuisine, you probably had mapo tofu, hapa, or other dishes in the mala, aka spicy and numbing family. But another key component of Sichuan food is the pickled vegetables. Whether it's pickled peppers, pickled mustard, or pickled beans. When you cook with pickled vegetables, you're getting a rich blend of sour, spicy, and sweetness. In fact, one of my favorite dishes is suan cai yu, aka white fish in sour broth. Even though I had many pickled pepper dishes before, I've never had it in a noodle format. The noodle came in a large metal pot, and the handle was still hot. The flavor is complex, blending pickled peppers, ginger, Sichuan peppercorn, and tomatoes. And the texture is like a roller coaster. In addition to noodles, there are a lot of pork liver slices, tender pork pieces, fish stomach, quail eggs, tomatoes, and even lunch meat slices. The pork liver slices are dense and packed with a rich iron aftertaste. The pork pieces have been tenderized and marinated. The fish stomach, which you see here on the screen, is springy and porous, and it soaks up all the delicious broth. What I got here in my chopsticks is something that's terrified me since childhood. It's called Huanghua Cai, aka Citron daylily, or long yellow daylily. It's one of the few things I just can't stand because the taste just turns my stomach. And I feel pretty justified when I found out recently that when they're raw or undercooked, they can be slightly toxic and cause nausea. So just something to know. In any case, I just want to thank you for watching a hectic 24-hour food journey from Hong Kong to Beijing. Stay tuned for more videos from my month-long trip to China. See you next time.